Israel ends the mask mandate. Israel no longer requires adults to wear masks. That is a massive move away from what has become the norm in other parts of the world across the globe. How has Israel managed to deal with the virus and ensure the safety of their people much quicker than other countries? Various factors contribute to this. We will touch on a few of them in this post. The best way to give full context is by comparing them to other countries. That will give us clear indicators to measure. Israel reported its first case of COVID-19 on the 21st of February 2020. The first patient, a lady, had been tested at the Sheba Medical Center in 2019. Let's look at the World Health Organization's data. Their first wave peaked in the first week of October. They reported 41,022 cases the previous week. This was an increase of 30% from the previous week. They reported 260 deaths that week. Their second wave peaked in the week of the 11th of January. 58,300 cases were reported that week. The cases reported tend to feed into the number of deaths in the next week. People become ill one week and may pass away within the next week. 25th of January saw 395 deaths, which was the highest week recorded. Okay. At this point, context is important, so let's consider population. Israel has an estimated population of 8,762,899. So, at their peak, they had 0.66530,494% of the population infected. Less than 1%. There were 837,160 cases reported in total. Of those, 6,388 led to death. That makes a fatality rate of 0.763056,046. That is less than 1%. Let's compare that to the United States. In America, the first wave peaked at 1,666,726 cases, with 23,198 deaths. That makes for a fatality rate of 1.39183045%. The U.S. has an estimated population of 331.42 million. The U.S. had 31,311,941 cases reported. Of those cases, 561,616 led to death. 0.16945748596% of the population died. There was a fatality rate of 1.7936160521%. That is twice that of Israel. One factor in explaining this could be a larger population, which means increased pressure on health services. There is also the issue of access to healthcare to account for. Now that we know that Israel is doing better, let's consider possible reasons why that is the case. For starters, they did not have many issues of people going against the mask mandate. They were early adopters of scientific evidence advice. That was at a time where America had people protesting because they needed to get a haircut. There are still people who doubt that the virus exists, even after a chunk of the population has been wiped. Government. The Israeli government has the trust of its people. When they say something, it tends to be believed. The population increasingly distrusts the US government. It doesn't matter whether it's a Democratic or Republican president. The people don't trust the machine behind it all. President Trump didn't help the cause by being a denier of the virus at the start and later playing it down as something that will pass. Once we start casting doubt on the scientists and medical professionals, we have problems. Vaccines. Over 81% of Israel's adult population has been vaccinated. The masks can finally come off. We still have people who don't believe the masks work or that the virus kills. It seems the quickest way to get back to business as usual is by heeding the advice of the medical professionals and caring for our fellow citizens. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe.